Har! Welcome to Pirate Radio. I'm Bob Bitchin from Cruising Outpost Magazine, and this is Latitudes and Attitudes. Today we're talking with Eric Stone from the Eric Stone Band, and we'll be discussing and playing a few of his hits. I first met Eric about 18 years ago while at the Chicago Boat Show. He was playing at the food court. He was about to release his first album, Songs for Sale. In fact, he had to burn me a CD off of his computer, as the CD had not been released yet. Since then, he's created dozens of great albums and written hundreds of songs about the cruising and sailing lifestyle. We're going to look into how some of his songs came to life. This is going to be an easy one for me, as Eric actually wrote the theme song for Latitudes and Attitudes, which was a TV show I hosted for 5 years on the Outdoor Channel, Men's Channel, and the Versus Network, and is also the name of this radio show. So let's get Eric Stone on here and see what he has to say about the inspirations for this song and some of his other more popular songs. So Eric, I remember sitting on a porch of a small cabana in Antigua during one of our events when you first played what became our theme song for the TV show. You said you wrote it during the flight while watching the DVD Other People's Paradise, Captain Bob. All I know is you knocked it out of the park with that song. Can you tell me about when you were writing it?
Yeah, I remember that trip, man, vividly. That was an awesome trip. I remember being on the airplane, and I didn't have any paper, so I think I was writing it on one of those barf bags in the airplane with the pen. And I had one of those little micro recorders, because that was before we all had iPhones and everything. And so I was singing it real quiet to the thing so I wouldn't disturb the other passengers. And then I got to Antigua, and then I think it was the second night we were there, maybe. We all got together at my cabana,
right?
And I just played the song for you, and I think you might have cried. I'm not sure.
Only when I broke my chair and fell, but we won't talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's play the theme song from Latitudes and Attitudes in its entirety. Hopefully you'll see why I fell in love with the song from the very first time I heard it. Of course, try to imagine hearing it standing on the porch of a cute little cottage on the beach in Antigua, which is where I first heard it.
Smooth seas and blue skies, palm trees and sunshine await me in new latitudes. Pirates and treasure, or dealer adventure, the only difference is attitude. So I'll raise my glass, then raise the sails, toast the world from the bow. Say farewell to my landlocked life, throwing in the towel. Wherever my journey takes me, I'll take time to unwind. 'Cause paradise is not a place, it's a state of mind, and my mind is made up. I'm gonna sail away. Latitudes and attitudes will help me find my way with my loving cup. A little salt and a lick of lime. I'll set my course for adventure, of course on island time. Cruising chicks and sailor dudes all are taking part. Latitudes and attitudes have crept inside their hearts. Sailing yachts, motor tugs, and trawlers of all kinds are out to see what they can see on oceans far and wide, and my mind is made up. I'm gonna sail away. Latitudes and attitudes will help me find my way with my loving cup. A little salt and a lick of lime. I'll set my course for adventure, of course on island time. The ocean is my highway, upon the seas I ride. I'm trading in my Harley for a boat and changing tides, and my mind is made up. I'm gonna sail away. latitudes and attitudes will help me find my way with my loving cup. A little salt and a lick of lime. I'll set my course for adventure, of course on island time. Set my course for adventure, of course on island time.
What I liked about it from the get-go was the first time you played it, I felt as if I'd already heard the song. When you wrote it, did you know how well it would be received?
Well, you get a feeling when you write a song that, wow, this is going to be a monster, or this is going to be an album cut or whatever, and I knew it had a good hook, and that's the key to a really catchy song is the hook is you're going to remember it right off the bat because, like you said, you've heard it before, but. So I do focus on hooks, and that one definitely has a good hook, and that's what you used in the beginning of the show, which I thought was perfect. And I didn't know how good it was going to go over, but I play it to this day, and people still love it. So it's a good one.
I can understand that. Okay, so I'd like to move on to one of my personal favorites, Legend of the Lost Soul. It's my favorite for some very obvious reasons. Once again, you captured the feeling of cruising the world and of transition from biker to sailor. Hey! That's a pitch for my newest book, by the way, Biker to Sailor. And once again, you nailed a feeling. How did you do that?
Well, you gave me that DVD, Other People's Paradise, about when you sailed around the world, right. And I studied that DVD. I watched that thing. I must have watched it 100 times, and I just took inspiration off of it. Some of the things you said, some of the places y'all went, the general feeling of what cruising is about. And I really worked hard on that one. I probably spent more time on the preface, or the prep, I should say, for that song than almost any other song. Because some songs I write really fast and they just flow out like that. And this song, I knew it was special and it meant a lot to you, and I knew it'd mean a lot to the readers. And so I said, I better make sure that I study on this one and do my homework.
Well, let's play it and let the people hear what you're talking about.
He's a rider, an outsider, an American outlaw biker. He came from out west with ink on his chest and a dream. But his lifestyle has changed now. Rail to rail, stern to bow. He left the highways to take to the sea. Seeing the world from port to port, circumnavigation of a different sort. Wherever the trade winds blow, lives the legend of a lost soul. She was stranded and abandoned. He took her single-handed. As he raised the mainsail, she cast all his worries aside. He detailed her, then unveiled her. For 50,000 miles he sailed her. Their life is a journey, together they enjoy the ride. Don't dream your life, live your dream. Don't be afraid to swim upstream. Adventure can make you whole, like the legend of the lost soul. He can't recommend decadence crossbones, different time zones, mystery still unknown. Attitudes can change when new latitudes are crossed. Celebration in creation, the stench of civilization. Turn back the hands of time before innocence was lost. Like a treasure chest on an ancient chart, X marks the spot where you'll find your heart. Let the pirate inside you grow, like the legend of the lost soul. Wherever trade winds blow, lives the legend of the lost soul.
I like the motorcycle sounds in the beginning, and then the ending with the sounds of the boat sailing off. That was very well done. It goes with the song itself, which pretty much tells the tale of why we sail.
Yeah, well, in the studio, Kenny and I, we knew I had to have that in there because it's basically the story of your life. I mean, you started out as a biker, you still ride bikes apparently, but you're not a biker so much as you used to be. You're more of a cruiser, and so we had to have that transition. I thought that was the perfect way to do it.
Thanks. Yeah, I think so. So these are two of my favorites for obvious reasons. But then you have a lot of songs I've considered my favorites for years. One of those was Meet Me in Mooloolaba. Can you tell me how that one came about?
Yeah, that's a cool one. I used to work for Northwest Airlines, and so I had flight benefits. And I saw a post. Somebody had said, "Hey, is any musicians out there want to come play a benefit for cerebral palsy in Australia? We can't pay you, and we can't buy your airfare, but we can give you a cool place to hang out for a week." And I'm like, "Okay, no pay, no airfare, but surfing in Australia." Okay, so I said yes, and I was one of the only few guys that could do it because I had the flight benefits, and it wasn't going to cost me,
Right.
just taxes.
Right.
So I flew to Australia, and they gave me this cool cabana right on the beach in Mooloolaba, which is a real sharp point that has this most amazing right break. And inside the cabana, there must have been 10 or 15 surfboards. And so I surfed every morning, and I think I went back there the year after and did the same benefit. I did it 5 times, actually. But I went back the next year and recorded the video, Meet Me in Mooloolaba, at that same spot where I was surfing every morning. It's very cool.
Wasn't this? Wasn't this originally for a little girl or something, raising some money for something?
Yeah, her name's Rachel, and Rachel, Rita, and Lionel are the family that put me up and set the whole thing up, and I'm still good friends with them to this day. And the funny thing about that song is I actually finished writing it. I started writing it at the beginning on the airplane coming back from Australia, but I finished it in the Portofino Hotel in Los Angeles in Redondo, right where your office was. You weren't even there because I got in late at night and I couldn't sleep, jet lagged, and so I wrote the song that night and flew out the next morning all the way back to Florida, and that's just ironic that that's where I finished the song.
Okay, so let's listen to Meet Me in Mooloolaba so you can hear what it is that we like about that song.
Sex wax on my old longboard, a new leash to bind me, SPF 35, me a can of Coke and a sausage roll. The brekkie of Queensland, long break peeling off the point, the best one I've seen, man. Oh, meet me in Malula Bar. Lose yourself in another hemisphere. Meet me in Malula Bar, to the lighthouse point from the Okaloosa Pier. Surf's up and the sun is down, it's a feeding frenzy. Time to get off of the beach, white sharks aplenty. Meet the boys for some 4X beer and a bottle of Bundy. Chill out in the salty air, the way to end a fun day. Oh, meet me in Malula Bar. Lose yourself in another hemisphere. Meet me in Malula Bar. It's a long, long way from the Okaloosa Pier. Oh, meet me in Malula Bar. Lose yourself in another hemisphere. Meet me in Malula Bar. It's a long, long way from the Okaloosa Pier. Oh, meet me in Malula Bar. Lose yourself in another hemisphere. Come on and meet me in Malula Bar. It's a long, long way from the Okaloosa Pier. It's a long, long way from the Okaloosa Pier.
Okay, those were some of my favorites. How about we look at one of your favorite songs? What would that be? Making it tough. Making it tough. Making it tough.
Yeah, it's a lot of songs to choose from, but if I had to pick one song that I think touched more people and it has more gravity than in the other ones, I'd have to say it's Permanently Temporary, which is also the title track of my third record. And because like so many people have told me that they have sold their house, quit their job, and bought a boat and went cruising because of that song. I mean, I've actually met them, like in Joost Van Dyke. They come right up to me and say, "Man, I'm here because of you."
I was born and raised on the Texas coast, not far from Galveston Bay, where I daydreamed of exotic places I knew I would go to one day. I left Beaumont with blinding speed the day I turned 21, on a voyage of discovery. Time to have me some fun. I explored the beaches down in Florida, surfed the waves on Oahu's North Shore, spent time in Nashville on Music Row, learned to write songs and tour, sailed the lost soul in Redondo Beach, made Australia my second home. Soon I will see the Serengeti and the Colosseum in Rome. Permanently temporary, just here for a little while. Definitely extraordinary, loving every new mile. Always underway to the very last day, never stationary. Enjoy life before it passes you by, 'cause it's permanently temporary. I knew a man who used to say he wanted to live on a boat. He took his time, but woke up one day and realized he was old. He waited too long to live out his dream, sail the 7 seas. Now he's in an old folks home in a rocking chair and watches America's Cup on TV. Permanently temporary, just here for a little while. Definitely extraordinary, loving every new mile. Always underway to the very last day, never stationary. Enjoy life before it passes you by, 'cause it's permanently temporary. Each new day is a gift from God, so I don't take it in stride. If I wake up tomorrow, I'll get up and say, this is the first day of the rest of my life. Oh, permanently temporary, is here for a little while. Definitely extraordinary, loving every new mile. Always underway to the very last day, never stationary. Enjoy life before it passes you by, 'cause it's permanently temporary.
Another life ruined?
Yes, exactly.
That's exactly that's how you know if you've been a success in life. The more lives you've ruined.
There's been a few.
I've ruined a few hundred myself. Okay,
Yeah, I
so
bet.
how many albums have you got out now?
Well, I've got 13, well, actually 14 now, because I just released Live from Tonga, which, as you know, we recorded in 2005 on the island of
Right.
Tonga.
Right.
It was Vival, right?
Yep.
And it was thought to be lost on a hard drive, but now with the technology, I was able to get the files back off the old hard drive, and I reformatted it and had everything mastered. And I released the album just like a week ago, And so that makes number 14. But I'm working on 3 more albums right now. Another live album, which I already recorded, and 2 new original albums that are coming out.
Well, I gotta tell you that the one from Tonga, from Avowal, that was one of the best parties we've ever had. I mean, on that little beach there with, I mean, an uninhabited beach, uninhabited island, and the governor of Avowal came to show everybody how they eat the Tongan feast. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
That was
So I've heard that fans can get all of your albums now on a single very cool device. What's that all about?
Yeah, somebody emailed me and said, "Hey, man, do you sell your stuff on a flash drive?" Because these days CD sales aren't near as big as downloads.
Right.
Downloads are taking over.
Right.
And I said, "Well, not exactly, but let me see what I can put together." And so I found this cool little box right here,
Very
and it
cool.
has this hard drive in it. And if you see that, it has all my albums on it, plus videos, that music videos and other videos of live stuff,
Really?
and some interviews and stuff that are on there. It's really really interesting, and people are loving it, selling like crazy. It comes with a personalized pick, and it goes in with the guitar case, so you can see like that. But you can get it at islanderic.com. There'll be links on the page. Just look up islanderic.com. Very simple.
We can do that. We'll try to put that across the bottom here if we can figure out how to do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Because this is a first. This is a first. So
Indeed.
That's about all we have time for the first episode of Latitudes and Attitudes Radio. Hope you enjoyed Latitudes and Attitudes on Pirate Radio. Tune in next week for a new edition of Latitudes and Attitudes. And don't forget, if cruising is your lifestyle, then you need to be part of the Outpost, Cruising Outpost, the #1 selling marine lifestyle magazine in the USA. I can't recommend decadence as a way of life, but it has worked for me. Thanks, Eric.
Cool. Thanks.